Hi friend, welcome to my channel. You ever had a woman who looks at you like she's seeing something she hasn't felt in years? Like you're not just a man. You're a memory she never had, but wishes she did? She smiles, but it's not for the world. It's just for you. She's polite, sure, respectful, even a little distant at times. But then something happens. Her body leans in a little too close. Her voice softens when it's just the two of you. And when you say something bold, she doesn't pull back. She pauses, smirks. Her eyes flicker with something she doesn't say out loud. Not because she's not feeling it, but because she is. And here's where most men get it wrong. They assume that because a woman's married, the signals don't mean anything. They chalk it up to friendliness or harmless attention. But deep down, they feel it. They feel that unexplainable charge, that gravity, that whisper in her glance that says, in another life, or maybe even this one, I want you. The truth? Even women with rings on their fingers, routines in their lives, and husbands at home, can crave the emotional rush they've forgotten. The connection that lights them up again, the feeling of being wanted, not as someone's wife, someone's mother, someone's obligation, but as a woman, a human. And when you become the man who makes her feel that again, that's when the signals start. Quiet, careful, but crystal clear, if you know what to look for. So if you've ever felt like something's unspoken between you and a woman who's taken, if you've ever walked away from a conversation thinking, that didn't feel innocent, then what you're about to learn isn't just eye-opening. It's a window into her hidden world, and into the coded messages she's sending when desire dares to speak louder than her circumstances. And once you understand those signs, you'll never look at her, or any woman like her, the same way again. Welcome back to Stoic Paradox. I'm Amelia, and today we're stepping into a space most people pretend doesn't exist. A space that lives in the silences between words, in the glances that linger too long, and in the energy you feel but can't explain. See, there's a strange kind of tension in this world, and one that's never spoken about openly. It's the moment you feel something real from a woman who's already committed to someone else. She has the ring, the title, the life, and yet there's a part of her that comes alive only when she's around you. It's in the way she lights up mid-conversation. It's in the way she laughs like she hasn't laughed in months. It's in the way her entire body turns towards you when she doesn't even realize it. You didn't pursue her. You weren't chasing anything, but suddenly you feel like the only man she sees. And that's when the confusion starts. Your mind says, she's married, back off. But your gut says, she's choosing to show up this way around you for a reason. So you wonder, is it just you? Or is there something she's not saying? Most men shrug this off. They ignore the sign, or worse, misread them entirely. But the men who understand human psychology, emotional timing, and female behavior on a deeper level, they know this truth. When a married woman secretly desires you, she doesn't confess it outright. She sends signals. Signals designed to maintain deniability, but still deliver the message. Signals that are subtle enough to dismiss, but strong enough to disrupt your peace of mind. And the moment you learn how to spot those signals, and more importantly, understand why she's sending them, you unlock an entirely different layer of human attraction. One that most men will never even recognize. This video isn't about seduction. It's not about encouraging anything inappropriate or unethical. It's about understanding the emotional voids people don't talk about, understanding the quiet hunger that can live behind a smile, and understanding what it means when a woman, even one who's married, starts showing up in ways she never did before. Because once you start seeing these signs, you realize, she's not just being polite. She's reaching out with everything she doesn't know how to say. Sign number one, the safe text. With a double meaning. It always starts innocently, right? A message that could be read 100 different ways. Just thought of you when I heard this song. LOL, this reminded me of our conversation. Or the classic, hope you're having a good night. She's careful, she's not overt, but behind every safe sentence is a carefully placed emotional breadcrumb. She's opening a door without fully stepping through it. Why? Because she wants to test something, your reaction, your tone, your warmth.
She's trying to gauge whether that subtle emotional electricity she felt the moment you brushed hands or laughed a little too long was real. She won't say, I miss you. She'll say, you disappeared on me. Not, I want to see you, but when are we grabbing coffee again? It's all wrapped in deniability. But trust this, if she's reaching out in the quiet hours, if her texts make you pause and read them twice, that's not coincidence. That's emotional calibration. And it usually means she's thinking about you far more than she lets on. Sign number 2, she mentions her husband as he, but in a certain way. Now this one is deceptively clever. When a woman is fully emotionally attached to her husband, she mentions him naturally without hesitation or undertone. But when she talks about him and you hear a slight distance, a weird tension, that's a signal. It sounds like he's busy all the time, or yeah, we've been kinda off lately, or even just a small dismissive, he's fine. It's not just the words, it's how she says them. There's a subtle drop in energy, a flicker of discontent. And it's not an accident that she's saying it to you. Why? Because subconsciously she's inviting you into a comparison. She's not asking you to fix anything. She's simply showing you the crack in the wall. And whether she realizes it or not, she's wondering what it would feel like to be seen and heard by someone like you. Sign number 3, her body talks first. Before she ever says a word that crosses the line, her body crosses it first. You'll notice it in the way she stands when she's around you. Her hips turn slightly in, her feet pointing in your direction. She might not even be aware of it, but her posture, her gestures, her micro movements, they all betray the emotional shift happening underneath. She adjusts her hair when she sees you, touches her collarbone when you talk. Her pupils dilate, her breathing subtly changes, and she leans in just slightly more than necessary when you're close. Her body isn't lying. It's responding to a chemical truth. She's attracted to you, and she hasn't quite figured out what to do with it yet. This is where most men either miss the signed it or rush in. But the man who notices it without reacting becomes the one she thinks about later, because he saw what she didn't even say. And that's more intimate than words ever could be. Sign number 4, she gets jealous. Quietly. Watch closely when you mention another woman, even casually. Suddenly, her energy shifts. She withdraws ever so slightly, or maybe she goes the other way and tries to one-up that woman, even if playfully. That jealousy isn't loud. She won't come out and say, I wish that was me. But her silence will say it. Her subtle tension, her questions, the way she stares off for just a moment too long, that's not annoyance, that's longing, camouflaged as curiosity. And it comes from a very real place inside her that's trying to suppress a feeling she wasn't planning on having. What's most important is this: jealousy without entitlement, especially from a woman who technically shouldn't care, is one of the most powerful unconscious signals of deep emotional interest. Sign number 5, she finds excuses to connect with you privately. This is where the emotional intimacy ramps up. She won't say, I need to be alone with you. But suddenly you're having more private conversations, late night chats, let me walk you out moments, or quiet calls where she opens up about her day, her past, her fears. Things she says she's never told anyone else. That's not accidental. She's building a parallel emotional reality with you, one that runs quietly alongside her regular life. And in many ways, that emotional connection is more powerful than anything physical, because When a woman starts carving out private space for you in her mind and her heart, that's not flirtation, that's intimacy, and it means you've reached a place where she's starting to imagine, not just want. So here's the thing most people won't admit. We live in a world full of unspoken feelings, not because people are dishonest, but because desire doesn't always come with permission. When a woman is married, or even just committed in some way, society expects her to be immune to outside attraction. But real life isn't that black and white. Sometimes connection slips through the cracks, not out of betrayal, but because a part of her isn't being fully seen, heard, or valued where she is. Now, this doesn't mean you need to act on it. This isn't about temptation or crossing lines. This is about emotional awareness, learning to read what's real beneath what's socially acceptable. And whether or not you respond to it, just the ability to understand it. That's a kind of power most men never develop. Not because they can't, but because they're too distracted chasing surface-level attention. But you're watching this, you're paying attention to the subtleties, you're learning how to listen with your eyes, and that alone makes you dangerous in the most magnetic way. So if this resonated, if something in your gut whispered, yeah, I've felt that before, then don't just keep this to yourself. Tap the like button to let the algorithm know this kind of deep, high-level content matters. Drop a comment if you've ever sensed this kind of connection, even if it felt off-limits. And subscribe, because on this channel we don't do cheap tricks or pickup tactics. We do truth, we do attraction that's rooted in reality, and we explore the paradoxes of human emotion, one subtle sign at a time. And if this video stirred something in you, if you're starting to realize how many signs you've missed in the past, or maybe even how many signs you've felt but couldn't explain, then you absolutely need to watch the next one. Because in it, I'm breaking down something even more haunting. It's called Say This, and she'll want you tonight. It's not a line, it's not a trick, it's a moment, built with words, that flips a switch inside her she didn't even know existed. It's real, it's raw, and it'll change the way you speak to women forever. I'll see you there. I'm Adam Stone, and this is Stoic Stream, where we don't chase, we attract with quiet power.